So today we are trying to explore reference management software or citation management software or bibliographic management software. That's the same, they are all synonymous. And this type of software is basically the software for scholars and authors to use for recording and utilizing bibliographic citations or references, as well as managing project references either as an institution or an individual. Once a citation has been recorded, it can be used time and again in generating bibliographies such as list of references in scholarly books, articles, and essays. I'm just giving a brief background, although we all know about it, but just a bit background. Reference management software or reference manager first appeared in late 1990s. The
Little
first,
louder, Sangamitra.
okay.
Slower
Is it
and louder.
audible? Am I audible now?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and slower and louder.
Okay. Reference management software or reference managers first appeared in the late 1990s. The first features that was implemented was the correct formatting of the article citations according to different journal reference styles. Even though fewer journals existed in the scientific world at that time, there were already multiple formats that authors were requested to use for articles they cited. So if a manuscript was rejected by the first journal and submitted elsewhere, or if the authors decided that their manuscript would be sent to another journal other than the one originally picked, then they could easily reformat the literature and concentrate more on the text and the figures of their manuscript. Nowadays, it is standard for most reference managers to include the citation style of the journal you want to submit to, allowing you to easily pick it up from a menu or a drop-down list. Most software also have shortcuts to the main online literature databases from which citations, abstracts, or full articles can be directly downloaded. One main goal of reference manager is to classify literature references. Some researchers use different folders and a standardized naming scheme for their literature files, which is now done by reference managers. This enables a more flexible and searchable classification. For such searches to be optimized, one still has to think beforehand on what classification is best for them. In some topics, it might be a chronological classification, for while in others, classifying according to the sublabels might be more relevant. All these possibilities are proposed by most research management software and are definitely worth being explored and used. Akla, can you go to the next, go to the second slide? Okay. Basically, initially we'll just have a comparison between the mainly three most used. One is EndNote, second is the Mendeley, and third is Zotero. EndNote is again a commercial reference management software produced by Clarivate Analytics. It was first established in 1988, and the latest version that is available is X9.2, and it is released on 2019. This year of release, last version is important for us, that I will explain later on. Mendeley is Elsevier's developed reference management and software, and it was first established in 2008. Latest version is 1.19, which is released on 2018. Zotero, a tool for managing and organizing different resources and for sharing research. It is a free and open source reference management software. It is produced by Center for History and New Media at George Mason University. First published was in 2006, and the latest version available is 5.0.89, which is released on 2020. Move to the next slide. So how to choose a citation manager? The first question that comes to our mind, I need to work from multiple computers or location. You can use either Zotero, Mendeley, or EndNote Web. Sorry. Why? Because Zotero saves your citation library to your local computer that syncs with multiple. Just a second, my screen is getting. That syncs with multiple computers, so you can work from home and office. Mendeley is a program that lives on your local computer but syncs with a web account. EndNote Web is an web-based. EndNote and EndNote Web is not same. There is a little difference between the two. Your library is accessible from any computer that is connected to the web. Then comes work without an internet connection. Doing the projects and other things, we really do need this as well. Zotero, Mendeley, and EndNote, and your citation libraries locally on your computer. Archive web page, import citation from sites Amazon, Flickr, RStore, Google Scholar. It is only present in Zotero. Zotero allows give snapshots of the web pages and annotate them with citation library. It is a great tool for saving citation information from publications and commercial and social networking sites. Then, if I need to work on a group project or share my citation with others, then again Zotero, Mendeley, and EndNote 3 will work. Zotero allows you to share your citation through shared folders. You can give individuals or groups permission to add and edit the citation in their folders. Mendeley allows you to citation and documents with a group of other users, or create a public reading list that is open to all. EndNote allows you to share groups with who is registered in the service. You can allow to view or edit your citation. Can we move to the next slide? So just a quick comparison table. Here where you have seen EndNote and EndNote Web, we are differentiating between EndNote Web as well. If we see the access, Zotero software with browser add-on, Firefox and Chrome. Mendeley is desktop software. You can sync with an account which is editable. EndNote with an online version, EndNote Web, which EndNote Web obviously an web-based one. Database stored. Local computer, the same thing. The local computer with base syncing between the computers. Local computer base syncing between computers for Mendeley. Local computers with cloud storage and syncing in NodeWeb, and this is always an web. How does it work? Detect citation that can be databases or web pages. Search and import using PMID, DOI, and ASBN. PMID probably Vijay will know about it. This basically the medical identity. It is PubMed references, and DOI is digital identifier. And for Mendeley, import popular databases, extract citation information from PDF. Then EndNote Web export from database. EndNote can search catalogs within EndNote. EndNote for EndNote Web browser bookmark import from many databases, can also import using ability to work offline that we have. Zotero, Mendeley, EndNote, it is true. Web cannot work without an web connection. Cost part. Since Zotero is open source, it is initially free, but if you have seen that, you can see on the screen that 300 MB up to 3 MB is free. For 2 GB, it is $20 per year. GB, it is $60 per year. Between this cost, because even if it comes, you have to use and cloud space to store your data. For that, actually, that cost portion is coming. For Mendeley, 2 GB free storage, approximately, which can you can say 700 to 800 articles, and then the prices ranges from $55 per year for 5 GB and $165 per year to unlimited storage. But in fact, for this 2 GB free storage, even if it is coming free, but it is not the full versions, because it will be the version which will have some limitations or others, because for the full version you really need to pay. And EndNote, it is initially 30 days free start. Price starts at $100, and this is some portion of it is free in EndNote Web, and not much is clear from their side. What processor ability? MS-DOS, Google's OpenOffice. For Zotero, MS-DOT, OpenOffice, and LaTeX. Because since it is an Elsevier product, so obviously, and many of us whoever have tried to submit or reach their articles in Elsevier, we know they insist for LaTeX versions. This will provide that. For EndNote, Microsoft Word, OpenOffice, EndNote X3 Plus, Pages X4 Plus, and for EndNote Web, it is MS Word. Vijay is not able to see the slides, Akhlaq. Vijay, can you log out and then log in?
Okay, again, I leave
we
it.
have done that before also.
I leave this session and then again log in.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll wait 1 minute for you.
No, that's
Once you log in, just let us know. Okay. Then go for the next slide, Akhlaq. So import from library catalog for all this. Import citation info from web pages. Yes, you also archive the pages and you can add annotations for Mendeley with the bookmark for a limited sites. And for EndNote, it is no. And for EndNote Web, yes, with bookmark. Attached associated files like PDF, etc. Option to attach automatically. And for Mendeley, you can highlight the annotated PDFs, and for both, for Mendeley, highlight and annotated PDF, and for EndNote and EndNote Web, it is search full text of the PDFs. It is yes for of them, but no for EndNote Web. Create group or shared libraries. These libraries means your own reference libraries that you are bibliography that you are creating. It is yes for both Mendeley and Zotero. No, but you can only can do it through EndNote Web. And obviously, if you are the option is EndNote Web, it is yes Web sharing the libraries. Creating bibliography with different style. Yes, but limited number included by default. And 100 can be downloaded. You have to go to Zotero. You have to download it. For Mendeley, it is yes. All the styles are available, and for Note and EndNote, there's many styles. More styles are available. Edit output styles, extremely difficult in Zotero. It is not possible in Mendeley. This is a unique feature for EndNote. It is easy. It can be easily done in EndNote, and it is not possible in EndNote Web. Strength, if we just see the strength, easy to learn for Zotero, quick for collecting citation, user-friendly features like tagging, attachment, and notes. For Mendeley, automated citation, yes, sync library over multiple computers, sync with Zotero library automatically. This is Mendeley can do for Zotero because Zotero is open source reference management software. For EndNote, best for organizing large citation and managing PDFs, wide variety of citation styles available. And for EndNote OAP, easy to work in multiple locations, easy to share access with colleagues. But I forgot to add here, or rather I would like to mention separately, is one that Zotero is open source. So if you have seen that it last version the last version that is available is developed in 2020. First point. Second thing is that, and this is an important feature because these are the fields which is actually 1 year, 2 year, certain developments happen. So if it is if one version is having the last version in 2018 or in 2019, whereas an open source we're getting this version free. So obviously that is a better choice. Secondly, you can directly collect it from the websites. Means you can use Google Scholars, you can use Amazon and get your reference, which is not available in the other two. And thirdly, even Mendeley for some portions available free, but what I mentioned at that point of time is that even the free version is not the full version, has some limitations, and if you want to have the all this utility available, you have to go to the next version. So to show Zotero, and Aklak will show how to download, because that is the first step that you need to do, and then how to get your from a website. For in this case, we'll use Google Scholar. That is the place where we get the scholarly articles, and then he will show how to build your reference from an aggregator. For that, we will show how to get your references from the store, and then he will show that how develop your references from any journal. For that, he will use EPW. So now, Aklak, can you start?
Now, hi, good morning. Yeah, this is the presentation about the Zotero reference management software, and the presentation will cover the installation part of Zotero and also the support it requires to use like Chrome and MS Word. And it will also have how the resources can be built up in Zotero using a different different resources like internet, your own computer, the other ways how you can build up the resources. And third one is to how these resources can be organized within Zotero, because all the resources they can be arranged in a different folder. And next, the creating the in-text citation and reference list in MS Word, or creating a bibliography in MS Word. And lastly, how to take a backup, and you can change the settings by going in an advanced setup. The most of the things have been already covered. It is actually designed to store and manage the references such as books, journal articles, emails, and number of the electronic documents can easily be managed in Zotero. It supports 9,800 plus reference styles like APA and number of reference style. What you consider is available, and that can be used while you are writing an article or a write-up. These reference styles can be used. It supports, and also it supports the 34 types of electronic documents that can be managed in Zotero. And also the integration with the word processor like MS Word, so that while these Zotero references can be cited, and also the reference list can be generated with these resources. So first, how to manage a literature or references which are available on internet, online, or available in your hard disk. So for that, we can use different tools like Google Scholar, the journal articles, what we subscribe, or JSTOR, and also the databases, what we do not subscribe. But here the difference is that only the bibliographical data will be imported for those databases what we do not have an access to. Secondly, creating a bibliographical record, and also they can be modified. You can add notes to it, you can add summary to it, that we will see while we will be doing the Zotero practical. And also it allows you to organize resources by topic, by subject, and also by types of resources in Zotero. And it also facilitates to link the metadata with the full text. So we can say you will be having a mini digital library at your end. Is it okay so far?
Yeah.
Okay. The first part comes to how to install Zotero and its support softwares. So installation is very, very easy by going to zotero.org and just click on the download page. You will find 3 versions of Zotero, one for Windows, second for Apple, and third for Linux. Then you choose accordingly and just click on it. It will start downloading. Once the download is over, you just double click. It will be installing in your computer. Just follow the instruction step by step. It's very easy. The Zotero will be installed in your system. So it will be for managing resources in Zotero. This is the main software. Secondly, it requires to Zotero connector to web browser like Chrome. It will help to build up a collection while searching on internet. Third software is required to have a word processor plugin, so that while you are citing references from Zotero or creating a bibliography, that plugin is required. So this is the Zotero page under download. You just click on download. It will be downloaded in your system, and you just double click on that file. It will start installing into your system. Secondly is Zotero connector to Chrome. Also, you just install in the similar manner. So you will be having the connector to the Chrome. I'll show where the Chrome will be in the Chrome, where the Zotero will be visible, and also while plugin is also installed in your word processor, how it will be reflecting in your MS Word.
So Akhlaq, we have to, in the plugin which is showing, we click on that also.
I will show how the plugin will be installed. This is the new slide. where it is very easy to install the plugin as well. So in Zotero, there is a option called edit, and if you click on edit, then the option called preferences, and here click on the word processor. These are 3 steps. Go to edit in Zotero, and then click on preference, and then click on site.
On site.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and then click on word processor. So these are the 4 steps. You just follow it. I will show while I'll be moving to Zotero. It's very easy step. And then say install Microsoft Word add-in. So the plugin will be automatically installed Word MS in your MS Word. So I'll show practically how it will be done. Right? I think so far I'm clear. Hello.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. Now I'm moving to the Zotero. So once we install, the Zotero will look like this. It has 3 divisions. We call it pane. The left pane is my library, in which you can manage the resources. For example, this is the one folder called my library. But if we want to create a new folder into it, so say new collection, just on the left upper side, there is a folder sign, and say new collection. The new folder will be created like Zotero workshop. I'm creating it. So here you can create n number of the folders, so that you can manage your resources in a different folders. This is one way of managing resources. And if also if you collect a duplicate items, then you can remove the duplication also by clicking on the duplicate item. So it will also remove the duplication part. So this part is to manage the resources. The middle pane is the actual resources what have already downloaded in Zotero. And if you click on a particular article, or it is called item in Zotero, then on the right side you will have in the right pane you will have the metadata about it.
Can you click on it then? Can we see it?
Yeah, if you click on the suppose if you click on one of the item, on the right side the metadata will be appearing for that item. Like I have select women question article, then the metadata for that particular item will be appeared in the right pane. Can you see it? That item type is journal article, and the title is the women question, right? And there is no author. You can see the abstract for that article and also the other details. So these are the metadata which are for this particular item. Okay. Secondly, this metadata can also be edited. It is editable. So you can easily, by click on the field, you can easily edit any field of it, this metadata. The two interesting part of this, if you want to edit a title, suppose it is giving in a title case, every first word is in capital, and if you want to change it, just right click on the title field. It will say do you want to change into title case or in a sentence case. So automatically it will change into the sentence case if you select it, right? Or if you want to change the title into the title case, you can choose the title case. So it will do automatically, or you can do it manually. It is your choice. So all the fields are editable. The second field is author. So here the author field is repeatable, means you can have one more than one author by clicking. Suppose I say uh, uh, X surname, and here I say first name. This is the dummy name I am giving. And if you want to add more than one author, just click on the plus sign. You can add an author, second author. Say Mehra, and first author is Anil. So likewise, you can have multiple author to it. And also you can change every field which is visible here. So that's how you can edit the metadata. In addition to this left pane, and also it allows, you can add your notes. Suppose if you read this article and have some notes, you can easily add your notes here. The moment you click on the notes, it will give you the editable area, the text area where you can add notes to a particular document. This is my first article, and for further reference, anything you can add to it. So you will have the notes to it. So in future, the whatever the notes you want to add, it will be stored in Zotero. Then you can refer these notes, and you can add n number of notes. If you want to add second note, click on add, and it will create a second note. Thirdly, next to notes, there is a tab called tags. Also, it allows you to add the keywords to the particular item or to particular article, so that it will help you to retrieve this particular item in a systematic way, or in a faster way. So if I say women development, for example, and my second is say social development. So these two keywords I can add to this particular article, and it will be searchable, these two keywords as well, while you will be making a searching within Zotero. The next tab is called related. Related means if you feel this article within the Zotero is related to another article, or they have some relation, so that these two you can create a relation of this article with the other article. Suppose there are two documents which are related to female feticide, and this will let you know there is another article is available on this subject within the Zotero. So that's how you can make a relation between the two articles, or two documents, digital documents. So I believe this part is clear. The right pane where you can have the metadata, the item you select in the middle pane, and this metadata is editable, and it also allows to add your notes, the keywords, and also make a relation with the other documents within the Zotero. Is it okay so far?
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Okay. And the next part, how you can add resources to Zotero. The first is to adding resources through internet. I'll show you. Now Google Scholar is not visible. नहीं, Google Scholar नहीं आ रहा ना.
आ रहा है.
आ गया. So while we discussed the installation part, I said the Zotero connector. Once the Zotero connector is installed, you will have the Zotero connector in your Chrome. Automatically, it'll be the moment you install the Zotero connector, it will be available here on the right upper side. Like this is the Zotero connector. How it will be used, I'll just explain. Suppose I am searching women's studies in India in Google Scholar. You will find n number of the references. If I go to the Zotero connector, these references. Oh, Neeru Mehta. So when I click on the Zotero connector, yeah, now the moment you click on the Zotero connector, all these retrieved references will also be appear in the Zotero connector. So either you click on select all, or you can choose the articles you like. Suppose I'm just selecting 4 or 5 and say OK. So it will start saving these articles into my Zotero. If I go to Zotero, then you will see all these references have already added to my Zotero. So this is very simple. Going to Google Scholar or any database, search it, and through Chrome connector, you select the article, what you like, and just press OK. All the resources will be copied to the Zotero. And suppose if I click this particular Artemsec tracing timeline, it will also carry the full text with it. Along with the metadata, it also carries the full text. If you click on the full text, you can view the full text. So the full text is also available here. So this is the complete digital mini library where you will have the metadata, even the full text. So yeah, this is the one way of adding a collection to Zotero. The secondly, how to collect from the database what you subscribe. Suppose I am just click on the EPW and I have already logged in, and I search a name here and I search it. So this is, suppose this is the second article. I'm clicking on the rethink violence. And if I like to add this Dr. Mary John article, rethinking violence, go to the Zotero connector and click it. So this will be adding to my Zotero. Right. Similarly, like JSTOR, I have already logged into JSTOR, and if I search any keyword or the author you like it. Suppose this is the first article called Migration and Gender Against My Query. It has appeared in JSTOR, and after reaching to that particular EPW article, this is also an EPW article, I say Zotero, go to Zotero connector, and then this will be also added to my Zotero references, Zotero collection. So these are the three ways how you can build up a Zotero collection. The fourth way is to collect a Zotero collection from your hard disk, for example. So if I say I go to Zotero, and something which is already available into my hard disk, and that I want to add to Zotero. Simply you just drag that particular article to Zotero from your hard disk. In the middle pane, it will be automatically added to your collection. This is the another way of adding a collection. So we can add through Google Scholar, through subscribed databases, and also you can in a similar way add references from the databases what the access you do not have it. But in that case, what will happen? It will just snatch, or it will just capture the metadata of those resources, not the full text. This is the only difference between the subscribed databases or unsubscribed databases from which you build up the Zotero collection. For example, there is a for example, if something this particular, suppose this is an one article, say women's studies in India. I have captured the metadata but not the full text, but later on you acquire the full text. So there is a button called attach, add attachment on the upper side. You click on this and say attach stored copy of a file. Then you select that article from your hard disk and say open. That particular full text will be attached to this article. So I think I'm clear so far how to build up a collection and how to manage the collection in Zotero. The one option in the left pane option is called duplicate items. So the moment I click on the duplicate items, it will show you how many items are duplicate, and I want to remove the duplication of my collection. See, say there are two articles, first two articles, and I click on this, and the right pane, it will say merge two items. So what it will do, it will merge the two articles together and also carry the unique metadata into one file, so that you have the master article into it. In the similar way, you can remove the duplication and enrich your collection in Zotero. This is the second part of the presentation, and also it will allows you to add manually the items in Zotero. Suppose there is a button called plus sign. By clicking it, you can create a new item manually. There is also a magic stick is there. So it also allows you to search the resources through identifiers. Like if you directly feed the DOI number or ISBN numbers here, it will automatically uh, it also allows you to search the articles through the identifiers by click on the magic stick here. And if I know the DOI number or ISBN number, I simply give a copy or paste whatever way you want, and then you search it. So it will search on the net and copy those resources into your Zotero collection. So this is the another way of creating your collection, searching by the identifiers. So these are the and it also allows you to search part. There is a two searches are available. The simple search, the search you want, the one field search, and it will search within the collection. Suppose right now the collection is very small, so it will search. You can find out by browsing option. But if the collection is large and also available in different folders, you can search the Zotero collection. And if you, so these are the basic features of Zotero. Now I was talking about how to add the plugin of MS Word. So I said go to edit and click preferences, and here you can do a lot of settings here. If you click on the site, you can select the site, the styles basically what you want for your bibliographies, like American Chemical style, APA, all the styles are available here. But these styles are very limited here. By clicking on the get additional styles, the style what you like you can add into, and just select this style so that your references will be generated in that particular style. The second part I was saying, I think somebody's audio is on and making some background noise. If you click on the word processor, here you say install, because here already the word, MS Word add-in is already there. So it is saying reinstall. If you say install, the plugin to the MS Word will be installed. And the last option I was discussing how to take a backup of Zotero. In this also there is a option called synchronization, sync. So it will allows you to synchronize in the because Zotero works offline and online. So if you want to work offline, the references will be available on your computer or on your mobile. And if you want to keep a backup on the cloud, you can, by synchronization, you can keep a backup on the cloud. And here you can set the timings and the date to take a backup. Before that, you have to register with the zotero.org as a user. Then it will allows you to make a synchronization to the cloud so that you can keep your references on the cloud, and that can be accessed from anywhere.
So, Akhila,
yeah,
in the settings, it is showing that you have to create an account.
So go, you just go to the zotero.org. It will give an option to sign in and sign in and registration. First you register to it, give your email ID and the password. Then you just give a email ID and the password here. And by the giving of these two options, you can keep a backup or you can use the synchronization option. And if you are a registered user also, it will allows you to make a queries online to the community, because it is an open source software. It has a big community, so that you can approach to the community for any problem. So these are the two advantage of registering with the Zotero. I believe these are the basic functions I have covered. If you have any question regarding the Zotero software, and also how to build up a collection through Google Scholar databases or from your computer, please ask a question if it is there.
Akhlaq,
Yeah.
maybe you have said earlier, maybe I've missed out, that when we are taking the link from the EPW or any journal like that and putting it, the abstract part remains empty. So do we have to type in there?
The,
Or it,
the abstract will automatically come if it is available in your EPW.
okay.
If it is not there, you can add to it.
And how one adds that?
Suppose if I select a particular article, say migration and gender in India, in the middle pane, and in the right pane, you can add a abstract, or you can modify it.
I see.
So these metadata for selected article, it will be appearing in the right pane, and these metadata is editable. You can make an addition or deletion whatever way you want. And if you want to change anything, particularly the author or the title, if you want to change a title in a sentence mode, just right click to it, say sentence case. It will change into the sentence case. And if you want to make a, and for author, that you have to do it manually. Suppose Mazumdar, and they are given in caps, and I giving in a normal Indrani. The similar way you can change the metadata, and you can even add notes to the metadata, and even add keywords, and make a relation between the two articles in the Zotero.
Thanks.
So next part will be covering how we can make a citation and prepare a reference list in MS Word, right? But before you either you go to the Google Scholar or MS Word, first you open the Zotero. Otherwise, those plugins or the connector will not work, because this is the mandatory. First you open the Zotero at the background, then only these connector or the plugin will work, right? So now I will move to how to use the word processor. So this is my MS Word, and the moment I have installed the plugin, here the upper side next to view, you will find the Zotero plugin, right? Similarly, I have added two other plugins like Grammarly or Acrobat. So Zotero plugin will be visible on your word processor. Once you click on Zotero, it has two options, say add citation or edit citation, and add or edit the bibliography. For example, I'm writing, this is my first citation, and after this I want to add a citation from my Zotero, right? So just click on add citation. So it will allow to select the style what you want. I have I say APA 7th edition, for example, and say OK. Then it will give the searching Zotero searching option here. either you search it like a digital library or anything which is available in a Zotero, and you select from this and say a click and say enter. So citation will be added here. Now I want to add second and third citation here. हाँ हो गया ना, ये आया ना ब्रैकेट में हाँ. And now I add some more citation from Zotero. If say add citation, earlier I searched it from this box. Suppose I do not remember the particular title or the author. If I click on Zotero, there is a small arrow and say click classic view. I just click on a classic view. The mini version of Zotero will be appear on your MS Word. Right. So here you can select the article what you want to cite in your MS Word. It also allows you to cite more than one article in your MS Word. Suppose I want to cite two articles simultaneously, so I click on the multiple sources. The moment I click on the multiple source, on the right side, you have the window, the additional window. If I say this article and click on this right arrow, it will be copied on the right window. And if I select the second article, if I again click it, it will click the second selected article into the right window. And also it allows you to order them. Suppose I want to cite first accountability, the later the problem based. So I click on accountability and click upper arrow, so it will go first and say okay. So here you will see the two articles from my Zotero have been cited, right? So in the similar way, you just keep citing in your paper, and at the end you want to make a references. So for citation, adding a citation, is it okay with everybody?
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Okay, the interesting part, how to create a references at the end of your article. I say references and say just simply click on the add bibliography. So it will create a bibliography for the articles you have cited in your paper. Is it amazing?
Yeah. Akhlaq, I have a query.
Yeah.
Say, for instance, I'm working on a document and I have cited couple of references. But
Right.
I'm working again the next time. I close the document and again open it. So it will show the same references. Say, for instance, no, every day I'm working on the same document. Sometimes I'm adding one reference.
Right.
So when I just give command of reference, so it will cite all the reference.
Yeah. Once you save this MS Word file, they will be stored in your hard disk. So they will remain same, and you just keep adding. Suppose suppose I'm adding one more item next day, and I say add citation, and I say Indrani Mazumdar, for example, so, or Anita, and so this will be appearing, and I'm citing. I'm citing here. So now the new citation has been added. And after this, if I say references and say add bibliography, I say add bibliography.
Just come.
It had come.
Yeah, it has come. I'm just copying into the next one. And the interesting part of this, the moment you create a references, they come alphabetically. The normally we want. So this is how the MS Word plugin can be used for your Zotero. One more option in Zotero, suppose if you are not writing anything, but you want to create a bibliography of the items or of the documents which are available on Zotero. Simply the bibliography. You are not citing them, you want only the bibliography. For example, you just create a bibliography. You go to Zotero and just select those articles or the references. For them you want to create a bibliography without citation. By suppose I have selected first and I want to select it the fourth one. By pressing a control button and click on the explore. So the fourth button will be added. Similarly, the sixth one will be added, and like this I can keep added. These are the 5 or 6 articles I have selected. For those I want to create a bibliography. And then
needs to mute.
Yeah, actually, who the vegetable seller. So after selection, you just right click on it and say create a bibliography, the second last option. The moment you say create a bibliography, the simple way you just click on the option, say copy to clipboard and say OK. So it is a similar option like say Control C. So it means you have just copied it into the clipboard and come into the MS Word here and say paste and say Control V or paste it. So it will create a bibliography for those what you have selected in Zotero. So this is how we can create a bibliography without citation. Sometimes it happens we want to create only bibliography for the resources what we have in our collection. So in this way you can create a bibliography. I think so far it is clear. If anybody has a question, please ask. I refresh again the installation part, the Zotero part where you can manage the resources. You can add from various tools using the Google Scholar, the databases, and from your system, you just build up the collection. And the right pane, it allows you to manage the collection by clicking or creating a subfolder. And also it allows to remove the duplication. If you click any article in the middle pane, you just select it. On the right pane, you will have the metadata. If it is that metadata is appropriate, fine. If you want to modify, you can modify it. Suppose if you extract a resource which you are not subscribed, it will be carrying only the metadata of that particular resource, but it has an option. Later on, if you get a full text, you can create a full text. So in Zotero, you will be having a references with the full text where you can refer to it. You can view the full text to it. It is your digital library, beneath the digital library. And also it allows you to, while you are writing a paper, the cite these resources and also creating a references. Or if you want to create a bibliography, you can create a bibliography from the selected Zotero references. This is so far I have covered. If anybody has a question or anything, please. or it was perfect so that there is no question?
Yeah. Look, I have a query. I mean,
Yeah.
say for instance, when we create our database in Zomato, in this software. so, so say for instance, can we make a folder, separate folders, or can we make only with citing the keywords for those articles?
I just said just before I'll show you.
You said
In Zotero, suppose I have these articles in my library, for example, and I have created a Zotero workshop folder, and I want to keep the workshop related items from this to my Zotero workshop. Just drag and copy to the Zotero workshop. So you can manage, and while clicking on a Zotero workshop, you will have only those copied articles from your main library. In this way, you can manage your collection in a different folders. And you can create n number of folders under my library. And also you can create a subfolder to subfolder, like what we do in Windows, right?
yes.
So that's how you can manage the resources in a different collection folders. This is the way, right? Any other question?
Yeah, I had a question, Akhila.
Yeah, ma'am.
I wanted to know, actually I've been, actually let me just say first that we have EndNote here at CWDS.
Okay, ma'am.
And it is installed in 3 places, 2 desktops and 1 laptop.
Right, ma'am.
The laptop I have, which was part of that study I did.
Right, ma'am.
And we got a package, so it's been installed at 3 places, one of which is Indrani's desktop.
Right.
And I checked with the person who installed it. It was not done from here because no one knew about EndNote that time. But it is here, and it's I quite like it because I've been working with it for quite a long time. It was expensive at that point of time, but it's also very useful. So if anyone wants to try that, it is here. What I wanted to ask you was that when you enter, like for example, when you're entering any reference for the bibliography, does it ask you like journal, book, edited book in Zotero?
Yeah, ma'am. If you see the metadata,
can you show me please that? Like what are the features?
No,
like when you're creating a reference.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Ma'am, the first part is it also allows you to export or import from the other reference management software. Suppose if
no, that's fine. I understood that.
I'm just saying.
Okay.
Secondly, if you see the metadata here, the first metadata field is called item types. So here you can change the item type as well by clicking on it. So it supports n number of 34 types of item types, and accordingly it will create a bibliography because it understands how to create a bibliography for the journal articles, and the bibliography for the books will be different. So that's why it is very important to select the type. Right?
Yeah, so what I meant was that all the other types are also there.
Yes, ma'am. These visible are the types. Suppose even you can have the emails, you can have the books, you can have the chapters of the books, and number, even the conferences and all. Suppose I have selected this cultural mission and all this, and if you see this type is the conference paper, then accordingly, according to its type, it will create a bibliography. I think Vanadi is drawing something on the screen.
Okay.
Actually, I don't know. Something is happening. Sorry.
Okay.
I'm not able to correct it. It's automatically coming.
Okay. So in similar way, you can select the type as well. And then it will help you create a bibliography accordingly to the type of the items. It is very important, in fact. Any other question or query?
Are you planning, this is Mary, are we planning to acquire Zotero? Is that the plan?
Zotero is open source free software, so that
yes,
it can be downloaded from the Zotero.org /download. So it is available freely. Anyone can download and install in their own computer, personal computer or mobile. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. So there is no money. Only the thing is that if you have a very large collection, which normally the people do not have it in many thousands, and if you create keep the backup on the clouds, then they charge for the cloud cloud hosting. Otherwise, for the minimum collection, what the normally the individual has, it is freely, even for the cloud.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, can I just add and say that, you know, since EndNote is here and of course Zotero is also, I think there are many common features which I notice,
yes, ma'am.
which are there because I use, I mean, I'm a bit familiar with EndNote. So I would just encourage people to use EndNote because it's installed. You can easily do whatever you can, you know, cite while you write and creation of bibliographies and all kinds of things. So do use that because I use that frequently, but on the other two computers, it's not been used much.
So which are those systems, Seema? One is Indrani and
one is Indrani's, and if I remember correctly, one is Renu's. It's there, and all we have to do is there's a button there which says update, and once you open the software and just click update, there will be an update, it will be installed, but the software is just there ready to go. And I like EndNote, it's really quite nice and it's very useful. But that's not to say that Zotero is not, so I'm just suggesting that people who want to use it can use it here.
But why we have selected the Zotero? Since the EndNote, there is a fee and it is a subscription based. Zotero is freely available. So one can use by directly downloading the Zotero, since it is open source and freely available. But for EndNotes, one needs to subscribe it, one has to buy it. So,
we've already bought it. Now we don't have to buy it.
Yeah,
it's already installed and we can just have the update. So we can use both.
I just want to add one thing.
I just wanted to say, sorry,
Seema?
I just wanted to ask.
Seema, can I add one thing?
Yeah, whatever. I think, yeah.
I am just asking, only 3 people can use EndNote, no? Because there are only 3 subscriptions.
Okay, sorry.
Yes, it's installed in 3 places. But any, I mean, whoever wants to use any time can use that.
How will we use it? In the sense that it is installed in a system, and if it's not installed in a server, how will actually other users use it?
See, I suggest what can be done is that you can transfer it from the desktop to a laptop. And I think that people can do that because that's easier.
Seema, can I add one thing? Because it is, if you have seen, EndNote is one-time purchase. So if it has been already being installed in 3 places, it cannot be installed in other places. And second thing is that one of the features that we have initially told about Zotero, that you can directly copy it from web. This is the feature that even EndNote is not able.
I couldn't hear you properly because the voice.
You can't hear Sangamitra.
You have just searched Google Scholar and you have copied whatever you want to. That is one feature which is unique to Zotero. Take their library in one of the computer, then the other person. You can't hear me.
Not your audio.
Sankamitra, your voice is breaking. And
Just
sometimes
wait, I have to come out.
No, echo हो रहा है.
Hello, just wait. Hello?
yes.
Yeah.
Can you hear
Hello?
Yeah, you speak. We
Yeah,
will
I
be able
just
to
took
hear you.
cloud connections. What I mean want to say is that since Zotero is a EndNote is one-time purchase. So if it has been already purchased and installed in peripherals, 3 computers, it cannot now be added to others. One point. Second point is that 2 features. If you have seen, Zotero has the feature which says that you can directly copy it from the websites. That is Google Scholar. This is a unique feature of Zotero which is not available in EndNote. And thirdly is that if you have seen the latest versions, because these are the fields, this reference management, these are the fields where actually every year some new thing is getting added. So if we can go for Zotero, it is always better because the newer version will have more features. And if somebody has already created a library of her own in one computer, then the other person has to add on to it, or otherwise wipe it off and then add on her own. Because I am not understanding how one EndNote user means, because there will be one EndNote user at a time at one computer. I don't know, I'm making it clear or not. Based on subscription, it can be one person.
Yeah. I agree with Sangamitra. You cannot use it in multiple systems because the subscription is for a system.
Yeah, it is for a system, and
It was just for 3 computers basically.
Yeah,
So
because it is one time
obviously it
purchase,
can't
so
be
even we
used
can
as a system. No, I don't mean to suggest, that people use EndNote and not Zotero. All I'm saying is that it is installed in 3 machines. I'm using one, I use it quite frequently. And the other 2 machines have that. And, people can use Zotero. I think that it can be there in the system, whereas EndNote can't. I'm just suggesting that people can use both. Like, for example, if you want to just, prepare a bibliography, you can just do it on these, wherever EndNote is installed. It's very easy and it saves a lot of time. But it's up to people. I mean, it's not a competition. It's just that this software is there and it'll be good if it's used also with Zotero.
Acha, I want to add one thing. If the installation part is very easy in Zotero, if somebody have any problem, particularly in adding a plugin to MS Word, just let me know. I will help out because it's a very simple way. As I told you, if somebody is stuck also, just call me up. We will sort it out. Otherwise, the installation part is very easy. Hello.
Okay.
If somebody has any problem, because the installation part is also very easy. And what I'm saying, the Zotero is easily available and downloadable and can be installed easily. If somebody has any problem, particularly in word processor add-in, but the way I told, but if it is required, just call me. That can also be done. No problem. Any help if it is required, we are ready to help out.
Okay.
So probably you will get more queries when we start installing and using it.
Yeah, ma'am. Happily be doing. I'll be doing it. It's a pleasure. Always a pleasure. I hope it was useful, and I could make a sense a little sense how it can be installed, used, and it can be used with the MS Word as well. Right, ma'am?
Thank you. I think it was fine. It was very useful. I found it very useful and informative. I'm sure with others also, it would have been the same.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, then आप conclude कर दीजिए please. हाँ. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Akhlaq. Thank you,
Thank you.
Samita.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thanks.
Bye.
Thank you.
Have any problem? Just let me know. I'm here anytime. So shall I stop now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.